And your name is?
Emac.
Paul Bolivian.
Yeah, my name is Eddie King.
My name is Andrew Searles.
My name is Daniel Corrado.
I kind of look like some Asian guy that everyone knows. But like when I shake someone's hand and meet them for the first time and they stare at me with this blank, puzzled look, I'm kind of like, I know in the back of their mind there's a big gong going and it's like, gong! I don't know what type of chink he is!
It means a lot of work, especially because I work more in French, on the French side, and we're not that many comedians of color on the French side. So basically it means more work for me, more adaptation, and you know.
All right, well, my name is Eddie. I'm French, I'm from Paris, France. Yeah, that's why it explains my shitty accent. I'm really sorry about that. I apologize, you know. But my parents are from Congo, Africa. Yeah, that's why it explains the color of my skin. Just no, because he had a big question mark in his forehead. What? French people come in black too? What's happening?
Do you consider yourself a comedian of color?
I do, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think I'm white. I think I have some brown, maybe caramel.
What does it mean for you to be a comedian of color?
Hopefully hilarious, I guess.
Hilarious,
you know,
okay.
There's a lot with the ethnic parents and, you know, situations,
Sure.
the clash in cultures.
Yeah.
There's a lot to poke fun at.
I am Arabic, I'm Palestinian, and I'm actually really proud of the fact that my best friend in the whole world is Jewish. I think it's a beautiful thing, right, considering what's going on. But it was really cute when we were younger. We played this game, instead of cowboys and Indians, it was Israelis and Palestinians. She'd come over and kick me out of my house. It was fun.
So what does it mean for you to be a comedian of color?
I don't know, I'm white.
You're white? All right,
So
fair enough.
I don't really feel like I'm a comedian of color.
Okay.
I just feel like I have an ethnic background. You
Okay.
know? I kind of relate to ethnic humor,
Okay.
but I get away with a lot of shit because, you know, I'm white, so
Yeah.
I'm ethnic when I want to be ethnic,
Yeah.
you know, Latino party, hey, you know, what's up, puto? You know.
Good spot. I'm with my girlfriend. She's awesome. Get this. I'm half Polish, half Peruvian. And my girlfriend is Japanese, Egyptian. I know. Imagine if we had a kid together. That kid would be Polish, Peruvian, Japanese, Egyptian. Now either that kid is gonna be gorgeous, right? Or that kid is gonna look like some ugly CIA child experiment.
And do you feel comedy has the ability to challenge stereotypes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, it's one of the few ways that they even get mentioned. I mean, if you don't, if you're not mentioning the stereotypes, then you're just perpetuating the problem.
Lived it on the hyphen between being both Filipino and Canadian, right? So I wanted to do something good for my Canadian side, so I joined my company curling team. Yeah. But then the Filipino side of me was woken up when I was standing there holding a broom. And my Jewish boss, Mr. Steinberg, was throwing a gigantic rock at my feet, yelling, "Sweet!"
Do you feel that comedy has the ability to challenge kind of racial stereotypes?
Yeah.
How so?
How so? Because like a lot of comedians that came through with these kind of comedy, you know, with like making fun of other races,
Yeah.
in a good way, of course. Like you have comedians such as Russell Peters,
Yeah.
and you know a lot of other comedians like Sugar Sammy and everything. So,
That's a true story. I met a guy. I told him that I was from Congo, right? And he was like, "Hey man, you from Congo? I know about Congo. I read Tintin au Congo." For those who don't know what Tintin au Congo is, this is it. That's Tintin au Congo, right? This is the most racist comic book I ever seen in my life. He was trying to make a connection with me on that, right? It's like me seeing an Asian dude, you know, I was offended. It's like me seeing an Asian dude and saying, "Hey, you from China? I know all about China. My Nikes were made in China."
Do you feel that comedy has the ability to challenge kind of ethnic and racial stereotypes?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think that's the point of why most of us do this, right? To challenge stereotypes and to show people that, you know, we're not what they see on TV all the time, especially in my case because I'm Arab, right, Middle Eastern.
Yep.
So it is to challenge stereotypes and to get people to gather together and laugh at our situation instead of just being afraid or whatever.
I'm a Palestinian Muslim woman, which means I'm the bomb. Literally, hey! Holla at me. Oh. And believe it or not, people, my parents' wedding anniversary happens to fall on September 11th. Yeah, so you can imagine how the neighbors react to a bunch of Arabs celebrating every year.
You mean like if you kind of get typecast?
Yes, yeah, sorry, that's exactly the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I would say yes. I'd say it's definitely a possibility that where a lot of comedians do get stereotyped where, okay, so I'm a black comic, so people will think, okay, he's a black comic, therefore I'm going to talk about jokes where white people do this and black people do this differently, white people do this and black people do this differently. A lot of people will obviously think about that because that's what they see, that's what the TV basically shows.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, there is a definite possibility that comedians do get stereotyped where, you know, Asian comics will probably think, people think Asian comics, all they talk about is, you know, this topic, and black comics only talk about that topic.
Mm-hmm.
So it does definitely have a setback, but at the same time, if those comics actually don't do those types of jokes, it actually breaks the stereotype about us.
Very cool. Awesome.
Because I think the only time that French book would be useful is if I had to describe my family to my French teacher. I would just be like, oh, I have to describe my family. All right, that's cool. All right. Page 40. Je mange poulet. Il mange poulet. Nous mangeons.
Comedians probably get pigeonholed very quickly as the race first, the
Absolutely,
comedian second.
it is hard. That's why you have to make sure. I mean, in this case, I'll talk about my background
Yep.
for sure because this is the point of the show.
Yep, yep.
But the majority of time, I try to stay away from that. I don't want to be labeled, you know, be it Palestinian or Arab woman and woman either. You know, I
Okay,
just want
yep.
to represent comedy and be a comic.
I guess moral judgment allows us to know how far we should go.
Sure.
Just a couple of times, just a couple of things I've probably said that might be addressed, that might be considered as going too far, but it's basically up to me to know, okay, how far is too far? Like, how far can I push this boundary until it's like, okay, it's funny, but now it's no longer funny.
Yeah.
Now it's, okay, you've gone too far. So it's definitely up to the comedian's prerogative.
Climate changes as well. Not too long ago, India announced plans of going to the moon. India is going to the moon! Could you imagine that? Could you imagine 4 Indian astronauts in the space shuttle going to the moon just like, hey, look at that! This is very nice! Hey, Rakesh, look at me! Look at me! We are floating.
So in your work then, how do you manage the fine line between racial comedy and commenting on race issues and re-perpetuating kind of racial stereotypes?
I think the laughter takes care of that.
Okay.
I don't think, like, it would be different if it wasn't somewhat like, you know, if it wasn't funny.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
I mean, if it's not coming from an evil place, then I don't believe that there's any, you know, it's coming from the heart. Like,
I think Bill Cosby said that a big mistake in comedy is to try to please everyone.
Okay.
You know, ideally, yes, you want to please everyone, you want everyone to be on your side, but realistically, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that I feel I can't say because of the color of my skin.
Okay.
But if I put that barrier, it's like I don't feel I'm being authentic.
Yep.
You know, there's a certain way I behave with my friends, my ethnic friends, if you want, my black friends, Hispanic friends. And
Yep.
I don't want to behave any differently on stage than when I do with them.
Yep.
So I just try to be myself.
You know what's worse than French rap? French-Canadian rap. Yo, 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 man. 514-450-819, man. Je représente pour mes peeps de Laval, Chomedey, man. Yo, Gaston Laroche, rest in peace. Who the fuck is Gaston Laroche? They have rappers like Snoop Doggy Dogg would be Snoop, chien, chien. Ice Cube would be Cube de glace. Puff Daddy be Poof Papa.